Hey friend, welcome back. This is the Daily Spark. Let's learn something fun today.
I am so glad to be here, mostly because my phone is finally working again.
Oh no, did it die on you again?
Yes, I was right in the middle of using a map app. I was walking in a completely new neighborhood, suddenly just a black screen. I was totally lost for about 20 minutes.
That is honestly the worst feeling. You feel so disconnected, right?
Exactly. It is like my brain just stopped working. I couldn't figure out anything.
We rely on these little blocks of glass so much, but learning to talk about technology in English, that can feel just as frustrating.
Oh, absolutely. The words usually feel so technical. It feels like you need an engineering degree just to complain about your phone.
But it really doesn't have to be hard. Today, we're keeping it simple. You'll discover the fascinating story of the first battery, and you'll learn to talk about devices that power our daily lives.
I love that. We are going back to the very beginning, long before smartphones or tablets even existed.
Exactly. So grab a cup of coffee or tea. Let's get into it. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever looked at your phone's red battery icon and felt a sudden wave of panic?
Yes, just yesterday, my heart actually starts beating faster. It is completely ridiculous, but I can't help it.
It really is funny. A red battery icon is like a ticking clock in a movie. You just feel like time is running out.
That is such a good way to describe it. You start rushing around, you look everywhere for a plug, any plug.
Right. We are totally addicted to electricity today. It's completely invisible, but it basically runs our entire world.
And we just expect it to be there, like air or water.
But a couple hundred years ago, electricity was just a magic trick. People didn't know how to catch it, they couldn't store it.
They definitely couldn't put it in their pockets like we do.
No, they couldn't, until one guy in Italy figured it out. He didn't use computer chips, he didn't use plastic.
Well, what did he use?
A simple stack of metal discs and some wet cardboard.
Wait, really? Wet cardboard gave us the battery? That sounds like a terrible middle school science project.
It really does, but that simple stack changed human history. It was the very first battery. They called it the voltaic pile.
I mean, that is just amazing. We went from wet cardboard to powering electric cars.
Exactly. Today, we're going to look into that strange story, and we'll pick up some great everyday English along the way.
Because talking about batteries is something we do every single day.
My phone is dying. Do you have a charger? We use these phrases constantly.
So let's find out how it all started. Tell me about this wet cardboard.
Well, before the cardboard, we have to talk about frogs.
Wait, what? Frogs?
Yes, but first, a quick story. You know I love gardening, right?
Oh, I know. You talk about your tomatoes constantly.
Guilty. Well, last week, I dug up this shiny, weird metal box.
Did you think it was pirate treasure?
Honestly, yes. I totally jumped to conclusions. I thought I was rich. It was just an old sprinkler part.
Oh, wow. That is a classic example of our first phrase, to jump to conclusions.
It means deciding something is true too quickly, without all the facts.
Exactly. Think about how that feels in your body. Your brain races ahead. You feel this sudden rush of excitement.
Or panic, like assuming your boss is angry when they text, "Call me."
The worst. Think about that for a second.
That feeling of dread is actually ancient. Back in the 1780s, a scientist named Luigi Galvani discovered something just as shocking.
He thought he found treasure?
No, he was dissecting a frog. A static spark hit the frog's leg, and the dead leg twitched. It jumped.
That is terrifying, like a zombie frog.
Right? Galvani jumped to conclusions. He thought the frog itself held electricity.
He thought animals had their own built-in power?
Yes, but his friend, Alessandro Volta, wasn't so sure.
Ah, Volta. That name sounds familiar, like volts of electricity.
Bingo. Volta realized the frog was just a conductor. The real magic was the two different metals touching the wet frog.
So Volta was the one to actually make a discovery. That's our second key phrase today. Make a discovery.
This phrase feels heavy. It feels official.
Yeah, you don't just find electricity, you make a discovery.
It takes time and testing. It changes how we see the world.
Volta was the one to actually make a discovery.
He stacked copper and zinc discs. He put salty, wet cardboard between them.
And suddenly, they had a steady charge. It wasn't just a quick spark.
Exactly. He created the very first battery. It could power things continuously.
That is incredible. From a twitchy frog to the batteries in our phones.
Use it tomorrow. Next time a friend figures out a tricky problem, tell them, you just made a real discovery. They will love hearing that.
It sounds so much more exciting than just figured it out, right? And there's one more phrase from Volta's journey worth keeping. This one's for staying cool under pressure.
Next time someone assumes the worst, tell them, hey, let's not jump to conclusions. It's a great way to calm things down.
It also works in tense moments at work or with family, really any high-stress situation.
Exactly. And notice how calm and respectful that sounds, even when you completely disagree. Leaving the previous experiment behind, let's look at Volta's real motivation.
Oh yes, pure, stubborn rivalry. Volta just wanted to show Galvani was mistaken.
Honestly, I completely disagree. I think Volta simply wanted to find the truth.
No way. I mean, he was totally petty. He wanted to crush his rival.
Well, listener, whose side are you on? Was he a noble truth seeker?
Or was he just a competitive guy with a massive ego?
I guess we'll let you decide that one.
Either way, he desperately wanted to prove someone wrong.
That phrase is so interesting, to prove someone wrong.
It feels very spicy, you know? It carries a fiery, determined emotion.
It's not just talking loudly, you're presenting undeniable, hard evidence.
Like when your brother says you cannot possibly assemble that IKEA bookshelf.
Oh, I know that feeling. You get so incredibly annoyed.
So you build it perfectly just to see the shocked look on his face.
Exactly. You've been there, right?
I know you felt that too. It's a very human feeling. We all love being right.
So, to prove his rival wrong, Volta had to invent something new.
He built a very strange device. It looked like a tall metal sandwich.
He took small metal discs and started to stack them.
He placed a layer of copper, then a layer of zinc.
Then some wet, salty cardboard. He continued to stack up these pieces.
Think about the action behind stack up. How does it actually feel?
It feels incredibly deliberate. You are building something tall and precarious.
You do not just toss things into a messy, random pile.
No, you stack them up. It requires deep focus and steady hands.
Every piece must balance perfectly, just like Volta's amazing new device.
So, here's a quick use it tomorrow tip. When you're organizing your messy desk at work tomorrow, look at your scattered notebooks, folders, or even coffee cups and say, I need to stack these up right now.
Love that. You make the word real by using it on something right in front of you.
Exactly. That's how vocabulary sticks, literally and physically.
Perfect. And if your coworker raises an eyebrow, just smile.
It's a brilliant way to anchor the vocabulary in your real life.
Shifting from Volta's incredible stack, let's talk about modern inconveniences.
Yes, Volta used a layer of metal to create power.
We just expect endless energy in our pockets now.
At least until the screen suddenly goes completely black.
Honestly, earlier today, I complained to my sister. I said, my phone dropped its electricity on the floor.
My phone dropped its electricity. This sounds like a clumsy robot.
I know, it sounds completely ridiculous to say that. The natural, everyday phrase is run out of battery.
Let's look at the emotional feeling behind run out of battery.
It feels like a slow, deeply tragic countdown. You just watch that tiny red line get smaller.
Yes, it's pure modern anxiety. You feel totally helpless. You know the sad ending is coming very soon.
What do you normally say when you hit 1%?
Whatever you just said, I bet it was dramatic. For me, I usually panic and start running around the room.
You're desperately hunting for a charging cable.
Which brings us perfectly to our next key phrase. You are physically connecting your dying phone to a lifeline.
You wait for that happy little chime sound. Then you know the fresh charge is finally flowing again.
You are safe from the terrible dark screen of death.
Well, here's an easy use it tomorrow practice tip. Tomorrow, when you sit down at your desk for work, check your phone's screen first. If the number's low, say, I should plug it in. If you're leaving, text someone, I might run out of battery.
Yes, real sentences for a real daily moment. That is the goal.
Exactly. 2 simple phrases, 2 huge confidence boosts.
Before you know it, you're thinking in English, not translating.
And your phone battery anxiety suddenly has a silver lining.
It turns a stressful daily moment into a quick English win. Moving past our modern battery struggles, let's travel back to the year 1800.
Picture yourself standing in a grand, quiet hall in London. You're Alessandro Volta.
You step up to a heavy wooden table. Everyone is watching you closely.
You confidently pull a velvet cloth off a strange, tall object.
It's honestly just a stack of metal discs and wet cardboard.
You look at the silent crowd. You say, I did not just invent a toy.
This strange device would generate electricity. It will completely change the world.
What a thrilling moment. Let's break down those bold claims from our story.
First up, let's look at the phrase generate electricity.
Notice how we use the word generate here instead of a simple word like make.
It feels much more powerful, you know? It's a very active verb.
Exactly. Generate feels like you're waking up a sleeping giant.
It's not passive at all. You stack a layer of zinc, then silver.
And suddenly, out of nowhere, you produce a living, bright spark.
Next is that incredibly dramatic phrase we heard, change the world.
You definitely don't say this about a slightly better coffee cup.
Oh, maybe I would on a very tired Monday morning.
You are impossible sometimes. But seriously, this phrase carries so much emotional weight.
It feels massive and permanent. It means human history is shifting forever.
There is a clear before and a clear after in time.
I dare you to bring this dramatic energy into your life tomorrow. Tell someone your new breakfast recipe would change the world.
That is hilarious. But for a more practical tip, look around your neighborhood tomorrow.
Find a power plant or even a simple solar panel.
Just point at it and say, that's helping generate electricity.
It's a great way to remember our new vocabulary in your daily routine.
And you might feel a little bit like a genius inventor yourself.
Stepping away from grand inventions, let's look at a modern obsession. It's wild.
I mean, think about how we navigate a new city today. We don't carry bulky paper maps anymore.
No, we trust a tiny glowing screen for absolutely everything. We really rely on it completely.
Imagine you're standing at a busy airport gate. Your digital boarding pass is on your phone.
You're next in line to scan it.
Suddenly, the screen goes completely dark. You've been there, right?
I know you have, because we all rely on it completely. And there's the phrase, we rely on it. That's our essential phrase today. Let's break it down properly.
To rely on something means you absolutely need it to function. It feels like leaning against a solid wall.
Exactly. If the wall suddenly vanishes, you fall flat on the floor. We rely on every smart device we own.
We blindly trust them to hold their charge all day, but then comes the dreaded warning.
Yes, the terrifying low battery notification. Just hearing that phrase causes instant physical stress.
It honestly does. Low battery isn't just a boring fact about losing power.
Right. Emotionally, it feels like a stressful countdown to disaster. It's a ticking clock in your pocket.
You start sweating and rushing to find a wall plug. You desperately need to save your digital life.
It's so dramatic, but so true. So here's your simple tip for tomorrow. Check the battery icon on your phone or your laptop.
When it drops into the red zone, speak up. Say out loud, I have a low battery.
Then honestly ask yourself, do I rely on this too much?
It's a perfect way to practice our new phrases. Let's gather them all up in our review. Let's take a deep breath and gather up today's vocabulary.
We covered a lot of ground with Volta, Galvani, and those poor frogs.
We did. We talked about how easy it is to jump to conclusions when you see something shocking.
And how Volta decided to stack up those wet cardboard discs to prove a point.
Plus, we all shared that universal panic when we run out of battery.
You know the best time to lock in new words? When you can still feel them, and you just did. So let's look closer at our core words.
First up, you might have heard us say invent.
This word feels like pure magic. It's pulling a brand new idea right out of thin air.
You're making something that never existed before. It's the ultimate light bulb moment.
So here's your use it tomorrow tip. You don't just use this for grand science experiments.
Exactly. If you throw some random leftovers together for dinner tonight, own it. Tell your family, I didn't just cook. I invented a completely new pasta recipe.
I invent some very questionable meals that way. Next up on our list, you might have heard us say layer.
Think of a tall, delicious chocolate cake, or putting a heavy winter coat over a thick sweater.
It's the feeling of placing one flat thing directly on top of another, building it up.
Tomorrow, when you're making a sandwich for lunch, think about this exact process.
Tell yourself, I will add a layer of turkey and then a thick layer of tomato.
Moving on to number 3, you might have heard us say power.
This word feels heavy and strong. It's the invisible muscle making our modern world work.
It's the juice inside the machine. Without it, everything just stops moving.
Tomorrow, when you turn on your computer, think about where that energy actually comes from.
Or if you're driving, ask your friend, does this old car have enough power to get up the hill?
Okay, word number 4. You might have heard us say device.
This feels like a clever, handy little helper. It's a tool built for one very specific job.
It sounds so much smarter and fancier than just calling something a thing or a gadget.
It really does. Tomorrow, look down at your smartphone or your digital watch.
Think to yourself, this tiny device connects me to the entire world.
Or tell your coworker, I bought a cool new smart home device to turn off my lights.
Finally, our 5th and last word. You might have heard us say charge.
This feels exactly like drinking a massive cup of strong coffee when you're completely exhausted.
Yes, it's filling up an empty tank, giving life back to something that's completely dead.
Tomorrow, when your phone screen gets dark and hits 1%, don't just sigh in frustration.
Grab your cable, plug it in, and say out loud, I need to charge this right now.
It turns a stressful, everyday annoyance into a perfect English practice moment.
Well, we've gone from wet cardboard to full phone batteries today.
It really is amazing how a simple stack of metal changed everything.
It is. And remember our promise from the start of the show today. You learned the fascinating story of the first battery. And you learned to talk about devices that power our daily lives.
English isn't really about memorizing thick, boring textbooks. It's just about connecting with the world around you.
Exactly. So here's your challenge for tomorrow. Tomorrow, when your phone hits 15% battery, don't just say, my phone is dying. Say, I need to charge my device. The whole sentence.
And then look around you, your laptop, your headphones, your smartwatch. Point to one and say out loud, that is a device. Own that word.
And before we go, tell us down in the comments below. What is the one device you absolutely cannot live without?
Ooh, that's a good question. For me, it's definitely my noise-canceling headphones. I need them to survive the loud subway.
I would probably say my e-reader. I take it everywhere I go.
We want to hear your answers. It's a great way to practice typing.
And make sure you tune in next time. Imagine you're standing in a very crowded train station. You're staring at a confusing ticket machine, and your train leaves in exactly 2 minutes.
Oh no, the panic. That is the worst.
What do you ask the person next to you? We'll give you the exact words.
You definitely won't want to miss that one.
This has been the Daily Spark Radio. Keep learning, keep sparking, and see you next time.
Bye, everyone.